Hello, my name is Angela, and if you clicked on this video, it is because someone you love died, or someone you love lost someone they love, and you need to know how you can be a better friend. When I was 27, I was unfortunate enough to lose both my parents. They both got cancer a few months apart. My dad got cancer when I was 26, and he lived for 11 months. The cancer he had was called multiple myeloma, which is a blood and bone cancer that is not related to leukemia, which makes it super rare and extra fun to deal with. And that was pretty terrible. I'm going to try and watch my mouth because I swear like a sailor. My dad was my hero growing up. He was the kind of man who actually never swore in front of us, and he'd be pretty mad that I swear now, like a trucker. I have a little bit of a blue streak, but it makes me more fun, I think. My mom got a brain tumor, which was also a super rare one because God forbid she get an average one and have it be something we can deal with. She got a glioblastoma multiforme. And again, this is 13 years ago. And for those of you who were paying attention and can do math, that means I'm 40. Um, yeah, unfortunately, they both died really quickly. As I said, my dad lived for 11 months. He was diagnosed mid-December of 2005. That's when I had just turned 26, just a couple months earlier. And my mom died 5 months and 2 days later on April 28th, 2007. She was diagnosed 180 days before she died, which would be October 28th, 2006. So it was 1 month from when my mom was diagnosed to when my dad died. And then 5 months after my dad died, that my mom followed. And in that time, my sister, I do have a sister, my sister and I became even closer. And we were never allowed to not be close. My parents engineered it so that we would always be friends. We were never allowed to say things like "I hate you," because we would actually be forced to allow the other person to choose our punishment if we did that. So very often we would make the other person do all of our chores for the week. So there was a lot of downsides to getting that angry, which we just really didn't do very often. So luckily, we are probably the closest you can possibly be as sisters now. We even live only a few blocks apart, and we're here in Toronto, which is nice for us, I guess. Maybe not for you if you're watching this in the States and you're envious of our healthcare. That is actually something that was also kind of great about being in Canada. I mean, we have universal healthcare here, so my parents were not worried about having to take care of their medical bills or anything like that. We were able to get them treated in phenomenal hospitals. They were treated primarily in Princess Margaret Hospital, which is a leading cancer research hospital here in Canada. And they have a lottery every year, so you could win a house if you want to support them if you're in Canada. Maybe only if you're in Ontario. I don't know. Not my thing. I am not the OLG, which is the Ontario Lottery Gaming Corporation. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So my mom had a brain tumor and my dad had this blood bone cancer. Both of them were super rare. Neither of them are hereditary. But during that time, it was really scary. And none of my friends had any idea what to say to me. So it was hard for them to be friends with the dying parents cancer girl, because like they didn't know if it was safe to ask how are your parents, or after they had died, how are you. everybody feels awkward about death. And I guess we really shouldn't, because we're all going to die. And my plan is to slide into home plate covered in scabs at like 90 years old, knowing that I had a really fun ride. But I think for some people, death is really uncomfortable. Because my sister and I dealt with it at such a young age, it has kind of made us the death gurus of our friend group. So anytime somebody is going through something pretty terrible, they often will reach out to us. And I know my friends in particular, they appreciate my very dark humor. I have a very dear friend who also lost his father. And I made what most people will say is a very tasteless joke. We were walking through a bookstore, and you know how they have the card displays and stuff, and it was, a month. It was after Mother's Day, but it was like almost Father's Day, and so the cards were out, and all the Father's Day cards are there. And I looked at him and I was like, "Well, at least you'll save $7. You don't have to buy a Father's Day card." And I think that kind of humor is the kind of thing that people who have lost loved ones can relate to, because first of all, it's like an inside club. You can't make that joke if you don't have somebody in the same family grouping who has died. So like I would never make a dead aunt joke because I don't have aunts that I've lost, or aunts at all. Um, but yeah, because I am in the dead parent club, no joke is off limits. Also, if you're playing Cards Against Humanity and you get the dead parents card and you have dead parents, automatic win. Just saying. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if this is helping you at all, but check in with your friends, and don't say it'll be okay, and don't say it happened for a reason. There is nothing more insulting to somebody who is suffering than to hear it happened for a reason. It didn't happen for a reason. Your parents didn't do something wrong. The person you love didn't do something in a past life. Nobody deserves to die of cancer at 55 and 59 years old, or younger, or older. It's a shitty way to go. And it's a thing that is kind of a thoughtless thing to say, because somebody who is hurting doesn't want to be dismissed. They want to be heard. So if you have someone who you support who is sick themselves, or who is losing somebody, and it's hard to talk to them, remember not to say things like it'll be okay in the end, because for them, their world is going to stop spinning. They're not going to feel okay, and they don't want you to say it's okay. Because look at me, I'm crying now. 13 years later, it's not okay. That doesn't mean it's never going to be okay. It just means right now, that's not what they need. What they need from you is to hear, I love you, and this sucks, and how can I support you? And if your friend is overwhelmed and they are unable to make the choice about how they want to be helped, bring them food. They're not going to remember to take care of themselves. They need food. Bring them carbs. They need energy. They need fast energy. And they need sleep. And carbs are going to be amazing. They're going to taste great. They're going to give them fast energy. And then they're going to crash, which, if they eat at the right time of night, means that they might sleep through the night. What else can I tell you about taking care of somebody who's dying? Do things, little things for them, the little things that they enjoyed. My dad loved coffee, so I would get him, up here in Canada, we are like addicted to Tim Hortons coffee, or at least we used to be before they changed the recipe or whatever it is, the bean. I don't know what they changed, but it's different now. So I used to get my dad a coffee and a donut, and I'd sit with him in the hospital and talk, just letting him ramble, much like I am doing now. So I mean, just hear what they have to say, because one day you're not going to get to hear their voice again, and you're never going to get to hear their history again. And those are things that you're going to cherish later. And my mom loved jewelry, and she loved her manicures. So I would, and that's something I inherited. I am now. This is the the holiday collection by Hollow Taco, which is Simply Nailogical's uh, nail polish collection. She came out with it this fall. It's January 2020, so she came out with it in, well, I guess it came out in the summer, but the Hollow Days collection came out, I think, in November. So yeah, I'm wearing that, and rings, because my mom was a jeweler and a gemologist, so we would bring her nail polish, and we would do her nails in the hospital. And it's not smart to leave somebody with expensive jewelry in the hospital, but if you can find an inexpensive substitute, like maybe a gumball machine ring or something that's not going to leave a green mark or anything like that, but just like the comforts of home, um, bring them a cozy blanket. I used to sit and watch American Idol, because that was kind of a new thing when my mom was sick, so we would watch American Idol in the hospital. And you know we'd bring in movies and stuff, and yeah, it wasn't all bad. There are still some good memories, even though it was kind of a nightmare to go through. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you loved or hated this, leave it down below, and I will talk to you later. Thanks so much, guys. I hope that helps. Bye.